What is up, everybody? Dan and the Fireman here. Today we're going to be talking about how to lane filter, and there are some pros and cons here. Okay, we're going to talk a lot about the cons. There's a few pros, at least in my eyes, but let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Okay, we're lane filtering. There's some vehicles. Everyone's stopped except for this person that wants to come out. Nice little swerve or more of an adjustment, and then we're moving on with our day. This is a typical thing. This is something that was handled really well. So we have a lot of vehicle stacks. So let's talk about a few cons here. Okay, so we got a few examples in this video. So a few cons: we can't swerve left, and typically we can't swerve right. So our escape paths are pretty much forwards and backwards. It doesn't really make sense about backwards, but bear with me here. So the goal is to plan our ride. We need to position for safety, locate hazards, assess relevant threats, navigate active threats. That's what we're doing here. But when it comes to positioning for safety, we need to have good line of sight, which we do. We can see really far. We need to have good space cushions. We have a really good one up in front and behind us, not to the left and right. And we need to have at least one escape path. We don't have one to the left. We don't have one to the right. We can accelerate to get out of something, and we can apply the brakes with really good progressive brake pressure, especially at this speed. We can almost stop. And that's kind of our version of moving back, because when people are moving forward and we stop, if you really think about it, it's like we're moving backwards and they're staying still. Makes sense a little bit? That's how I like to look at it. I like to orient myself that way. So here, we don't have any escapes to the left and right. And so that limits our options when it comes to a red stage maneuver. So we need to be slowing it down. We need to make it to where we can actually have two options. We can brake quickly and stop quickly, or we can accelerate quickly and get ourselves out of here. So motorcycles tend to be acceleration machines, and we can actually get ourselves out of position really quickly with a twist of the wrist. A lot of people don't utilize the braking as an option. So we need to be able to apply the brakes to get ourselves out of this situation. So the best way to do that is to lower that speed. In Arizona, you can't go above 15 miles per hour with the flow of traffic, and the traffic has to be stopped. So guess what? We have to be going 15. So this is kind of that same situation. The biggest problem here is that we see the pattern that typically happens that precedes somebody wanting to merge in front of you. So we have this issue right here, the big open gap. When I say big open gap, it's decent because a car can get in there. So if there's an open gap, somebody wants to move over. The reason why this vehicle did, we don't really know, but my best guess is they wanted to get off the road. You know, they're turning right to get off the road to go turn right. They didn't want to be on the left lane because you see a huge gap in front of them, so they're kind of slowing traffic down to move over. We don't need to know why they do it. We just need to know that there's a gap here that somebody can take up. And either this person right here, this white vehicle, is going to accelerate and get in there, or this person's going to come over, this person's going to come over. Either way, we got to watch out because these people can get us. Okay, so we just got to keep it nice and smooth, nice and slow, so we can apply the brakes, don't get hurt. We can actually stop in time, all those things. So that's what happens. That's what I look for. So once I see this, I'm in orange stage anyways when it comes to lane filtering. But when I see this, it's like, I don't know. Something bad could happen. So right here, we have to utilize the gap that we have. So we are doing great with the swerve. If we were going 15 miles an hour like we're supposed to in Arizona, we could probably stop in time, especially with good progressive brake pressure. Our fingers are already covering the brakes because it's orange stage, and all we have to do is squeeze. But here, yeah, swerve if you have to. Good swerve. Now we're in lane. Now the problem with this part right here, just this part, if we stayed right here, our line of sight is terrible. You see how you can't see around that white vehicle? Our space cushion is terrible. We do have an escape path to the left and right, and that's what I keep saying is planning your ride. It's constantly evolving, constantly adjusting, and we got to put ourselves in a better position for safety, which is what he does. This is a much better position for safety. Look at that line of sight. We have an escape path to the left and right. Our space cushion up in front of us is really good, and we switch lanes. It's even better. So constantly adjust your position so that you are in a good position for safety, okay? All right, so right here, we're about to fail 3 times in a row. Okay, so there's the context. So let's take a look at what happens here. Passing on the left, no buenos. If he had a quad lock, he probably wouldn't have dropped his phone at all. Ooh, uneven pavement is what's gonna get ya. Oh, you're just gonna go for it, huh? What's up with your tires? I don't think there's much with your tires. Ooh. Imagine he fell into the roadway and got his hand or something, ran over. great lifting position. That's how you want to lift your bike up. Use your legs, not your lower back, and twisting. All right, so right here we have a lot of traffic. We are trying to lane filter. We're following the bicyclist. Bicyclists can handle it. Bicyclists can hop off if they really wanted to. This motorcyclist decided it's not good enough for him. He's gonna just go and wait. So we're gonna come up to here. Now that uneven pavement is something that's gonna get you. Now this can happen anywhere. This could be like the train tracks, like a tram, and you're kind of riding along with the tram tracks, not behind the tram, and you can get your tires stuck in it. Construction zones, you typically see the uneven pavement, so once you hop off and try to hop back on, it can be awkward, and it can cause what's going to happen in this video. So the goal is, if it's uneven, the goal is to go over it. So here's the uneven. The goal is to go over it as perpendicular as possible. Not like trying to creep over to get into it, but you want to make a purposeful movement up and over. And it's kind of hard to do here, so this is a bad option. You shouldn't have done this. You should have lane filtered between the vehicles. If that's the case, just stop. Just stop. Don't worry about going forward. Bad choice. It's not your tires. So right there, the tire caught. Now you want to make that purposeful movement to get yourself up and over. And he lost balance and he starts to fall over. So when it comes to lane filtering, do not pass here. Pass where that guy is. And if you can't fit, don't lane filter. Quick shout out to our sponsor, Cardo Bluetooth Systems, for having literally the world's best power sports communication system. It allows me to talk to the crew that I'm riding with, and it's a nice little safety feature so you can actually call 911, keep your hands free when you need to rescue somebody on scene. Grab yourself a Cardo Bluetooth system, links in the description for a discount code, and it supports us. Let's support our sponsors because they support this training. Let's go ahead and get right back into it. Alrighty, so like I said, Arizona passed lane filtering. It looks like it's in Phoenix, and we just passed it. So one of the big problems, I'm going to go ahead and mention this real quick. One of the big problems with states just passing lane filtering laws is that we have dumb car drivers that haven't taken their test in about 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, and they're on the road, and they assume the rules should have been like it was back then. They haven't been paying attention to all the bills that are passing and everything. So when they see people lane filtering or doing the new things that are within the new laws, they get pretty pissed off. And that's what we're going to see here. Let's take a look. Yeah, pretty much a jerk. Big old jerk. And we were doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Under 15 miles per hour, vehicles are stopped. And then we're going. So we got smoked out a little bit. Jerk. And we're going to go ahead and accelerate and get ourselves out of here. Guy wanted to talk, but I didn't. And that's it. Just kind of move on. Don't speed. I mean, it's 40 miles an hour. What are we going to go here? I think we're getting close to criminal speeding, buddy, in the state of Arizona. So let's go ahead and slow it down and calm down a little bit. So what I said was that some people are just not going to allow you. So you're going to have people that are going to try to either scare you, hit you, whatever it is, because they have an entitlement problem, which is typically car drivers and motorcyclists, typically anybody on the road, because it's really high intensity, adrenaline inducing. Our bodies aren't designed to go this fast, and people are scared for their lives. It's pretty crazy. So with training, you get more confidence and you get less scared of your life, being in jeopardy. Not a lot of car drivers do that. Hopefully you guys are getting the training here and you're getting a little more confident. So we're coming up to here. Once you see this, just kind of sit back. Just get yourself into the lane. Be like, this guy's a jerk. You don't need to prove a point with this situation. You can just kind of move over. Not a big deal. It's obvious this guy did that for you. Don't give him the pleasure of pissing you off. Just be like, all right, cool. You're driving a big old truck that's getting, it's diesel prices, huh? And we're over here with a motorcycle with 40 plus miles per gallon. Have fun, buddy. Have fun. So that's the way I like to look at it. Lane filtering, there are pros and cons to a lot of these things. Don't take it personally. These people are having a bad day. Hurt people hurt people. All right, so we got another lane filtering situation. We have an added hazard. Write in the comments if you know what the hazard is. It's a pretty easy pop quiz question. Let's go ahead and move on. And, okay. Uh-oh, door. Ooh. Right hand. Right hand. Oof.
Caraca, meu.
Why did you do that?
Pô, mas tem que olhar o corredor, cara.
Oh, it looks like they already had an accident. There was a fender bender. Okay. That explains why he opened the door, but it doesn't explain why he chose to open the door without looking. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to see us. Our headlights, especially at night, kind of blend in with all the other headlights. Maybe he did check his mirrors, like, oh, nobody's coming. Didn't anticipate anybody's coming. But this is Brazil, so I'm assuming that this happens all the time. People are lane filtering. So I don't know. Pretty much kind of not there mentally because something just happened back here. I got an accident. I'm not thinking about motorcycles anymore. I'm thinking about my car. So there's a lot of brain fog going on, and it just sucks. It's a crappy situation. So we're coming up to here. So there was a fender bender. The door starts to pop open, and we don't have enough time to react, really. We really don't. It looks like he's got a bark buster or something on, or a knuckle something, guard on his motorcycle, which is good. Make sure you have some motorcycle gear. So we got some beginner gear, link in the description from Revzilla. It's a rotating gear selection that is usually inexpensive gear, high rated, really good gear. I like to check it out every now and then. Using the link in the description. It's an affiliate link. But get yourself some gear that has some knuckle protection. It's still going to hurt really bad. You can easily get a dislocated knuckle, especially when it gets caught in that. Oof. Have some gear. You don't want to rip your hand off. So there's the impact. Not good. So overall, this is just a crappy situation. This guy's like, man, I got rear-ended and now I hit this guy. Yeah, so he's going to blame you. He's not going to take accountability. Don't take it personally. It's a high-stress situation. Try your best to have your behavior not match your emotion right now. Have your behavior match somebody that's more secure and more of an adult-brained, not the reptilian brainstem emotion of getting angry and pissed off. I get it. It's difficult. If you let it out, apologize. But wear gear just in case something like this happens. This is one of the hazards that you can come across when you're lane filtering. It's very uncommon, but be very aware of it. And especially at night, it's really hard to see. They can't see you. You can't see them. A bunch of stuff like that. So everybody, make sure you guys are riding safe. Make sure you guys are paying attention when you're riding. Remember, you can't swerve left or right when you're lane filtering or even lane splitting. Make sure you keep that speed down so that you can progressively brake and actually stop if you need to, or it's going to buy you time to swerve left and right when there's that open gap. Always look for hazards. Always look for idiots. And just try to stay safe. Make sure you guys are following the Smart Rider principles. Acquire some gear. Links in the description for all the affiliates. I'll see you guys later.